What's up, everybody? Still getting ready for today's episode. Hope everybody is well out there on this Tuesday. I'm a little behind, so bear with me. Gotta get my notes ready and I gotta get on the live stream. As usual, though, I will say that I'm watching on Paramount Plus, and it's an hour behind anybody watching on CBS, and I will be typing away with some notes. Hello, Bobby Wobby. Welcome. Hello, Phoenix Rising. I'm all right. How are you, Phoenix? I feel like we should have another good dramatic day today. Hello, Z Hicks. Glad you're all right, Phoenix. All right, my episode is beginning with Bill and Haley at the hotel. Looks like they had a fallen tree. They probably had to get rid of their set for a while, maybe for their bigger set for the tornado. Haley, the only one with eyes and a brain. Hello, Book Chala. Welcome back. Oh, don't you want to know, Haley? Andre home in crutches. Here they are, back to making us feel sorry for Andre. Are you, Danny? Are you? Can't escape Vanessa. I know a lot of people in the comments thought Joey said that on purpose yesterday, but I don't know. Phoenix is saying Cat Tomas pissed her off so badly yesterday. So did Ted. He took Cat's side at the hospital instead of being understanding for Leslie. I mean, I was trying to be understanding for everybody in that situation yesterday. I was glad that Leslie attacked Tomas, though. Yes, Bugchala, trash again. Phoenix says, so glad Deanna heard Joey in the background telling Trash her bath was ready and went off on Trash. That was great too. People were going off yesterday. I need these characters to pop off more. People need to pop off more on Vanessa, period. I hope we get some payoff in the future for Martin's head injury. Oh, Tomas, just such a wonderful fellow. Hello, Cassie E. Hello, Dee Dee. Hello, Devin. Watching the Yankees, I assume, Devin. Well, not Eva, Ted. You're going to make us wait all week for Cat having to be tested. Cassie E says, I have a feeling that Vanessa wants Joey to be some sort of stepfather when the kids are grown and he's not their father. Who knows with Trash? Dee Dee says, I don't think Joey did it on purpose, not the same when he did it to Doug. Yeah. True, Devin. True. I recapped every episode. I guess it grew over time. At least we get to see Eva today. Why Leslie messing with the ventilator? If I heard Leslie talking, I might just give up. Might say deuces. Hello, Kaiwan, welcome. Dee Dee says Joey also really care about Isaiah. I wonder why. Because he's a gangster with a heart of gold. He's the new Sonny in soap opera world, allegedly. Z Hicks says Martin's concussion may lead to amnesia with no memory of being gay. I mean, I don't think it's going to lead to amnesia if he doesn't have it already. I think maybe some sort of personality change. Dee Dee says, look at Leslie. She must have worked in the hospital. Yeah, I don't know why she was acting like that. She's dressed up as a nurse before or a doctor. Hello, DGF. Welcome back. Devin says, I'm trying something new today while at work, watching the show too, and then I'll be back every commercial break. Sounds good. Let me know how it goes, Devin. Hello, Miss Blue. Welcome back. Bookchella says, poor Eva. Why does the ventilator look like it's tied with a shoestring? Maybe that's why Leslie had to do some adjustments. Hello, Aaliyah. Welcome back. You didn't miss too much. You missed Martin still doing okay. Bill and Haley, there was damage to their home or a tree fell or something, so they have to be at a hotel. Bill flashing back to Danny in the elevator. Danny flashing back too when she's with Andre, with poor Andre on crutches. Dee Dee says Leslie wanted to make sure it was on properly. GB says, I was going to say that about Martin and the amnesia. I mean, I just don't know how he would get amnesia after not being unconscious anymore. And he seems to have his right mind now. Bookchala says, I hope Martin goes back to being angry. He was more interesting then. I agree. Cassie E says, why do they keep saying that someone's going to die? It doesn't seem like anyone is. I would be surprised if he was going to die. Kaiwan says the concussion is going to lead to nowhere. He's going to give Eva his kidney. Maybe. Dee Dee says the writers are showing us this with the wrapping of Anita's leg, injection, Laura. Oh, that Leslie used to do hospital work? Is that a backstory? I don't remember. I mean, Devin, I could tell you when we're back from commercial break. I think we're about to be back now because we have a Big Brother commercial. Yeah, it's back. Oh, Bill's just constantly full of shit. It's a good question, Bookchild, who says, "Do you think Leslie may have a secret past as a nurse, which would put her in the hospital still and switch babies?" Good points from Bookchild and Dee Dee. Yep, Devin, Big Brother's coming. Yeah, I don't know about Danny's tears right now. It's quite literally impossible to feel sorry for her. Dee Dee says, "Too late, Danny. The writers are getting what they want. Haley suspect that Bill was with Danny." Yes, Alan, I do think that $10,000 bet is still on with Danny and Joey. Yes, Bookchild Danny is crying tears of guilt. And yes, Leah Leslie was a waitress when she met Ted, so I don't know when she did hospital work. Leah asks, "Why do Joey and Vanessa have to be on every day?" They must do great with old white people. I don't know. I too, Lisa B, am tired of seeing Vanessa and Joey every day. It's going to be the same fucking conversation. Yeah, Joey just so selfish. As if Ted gives a fuck about Martin. Because yesterday he didn't. Miss Blue is also sick of trash. Kathy also asking, why do they keep showing Trash and Joey? It's a question we all want to know. Hello, Franco. The episode's all right so far. More Joey and Vanessa, though, that none of us like. Bookchaw says, I just don't think the writers are that creative to drop hints about Leslie having a secret past involving nursing, but would be interesting if true. And if they were going to go the whole stole a daughter route, then the hints would make sense. GB says, my mother just said yesterday she is tired of seeing Vanessa and Joey daily. Sounds like we all think the same thing there. Ms. Blue says Joey's okay, but trash, eye roll. At this point, I don't really like watching Joey either because he's always with fucking trash. Franco says, "I just noticed Ted didn't really seem like he cared that Martin was in the hospital. Yesterday, he didn't seem to care." See, Hicks says, "Think Leslie had a relationship with Carlton and Eva is his secret daughter." I mean, I guess that'd be a reason to keep Carlton around. Devin says, "I wish Kat was to blame somehow. Accidentally bumped Eva into the pipe or something." I mean, I guess that would have added more tension to the two of them. I'm ready for them to stop having their rivalry, at least for a while, because it got old a long time ago. Aaliyah says, "I didn't see the conversation between Vanessa and Deanna during the watch along yesterday. So later when I saw Deanna call Joey a crusty rubber ducky, I was rolling." That was the funniest part of yesterday's episode. Phoenix says, "They're making Joey and Trash lead characters. Trash has no depth. They could do so much more with Joey's character. Trash holds him back severely." Yep. Trash does hold Joey back severely. Devin says, "Vanessa took a bath but has dry hair." Cassie E, are you saying Danny better be over Bill? I don't think she's ever gonna be over Bill. Bookchaw said it would be different if the writers are making movement toward revealing Joey's involvement with Doug's death, but they aren't. Trash and Joey keep regurgitating the same shit. Exactly. They put them on every day with no real substance to any of their scenes. No reason, just the same damn conversations. Cassie says, "I think the ventilator is tied with an orange shoestring." GB asks, "Where is Pamela? I thought Danny was buddies with her. She must not like to travel to Atlanta enough for scenes, the actress." It's back, but it's unfortunately Joey and Vanessa, so I'll just keep reading comments. Devin says, "Krusty Rubber Ducky was so freaking funny. I laughed at my desk this morning watching it. It was." Dee Dee said, "What caused the liver issue? The pipe didn't show it hit her, but Kat said she was holding her side. Then again, didn't Kat say it was dark?" I'm unclear on that too. If something went into her stomach and hit her liver or back. Bobby says, "My problem with Joey's character is they insinuate that he is gangster instead of him going all out." Yes, that's why he's grandpa gangster. Franco says, "Can they bring back Kyle Abbott?" I wish. Kaiwan says they're showing Trash and Joey, but there's no follow through. It's not like Joey is the worst enemy of the Duprees. It's not like the Duprees are affected by Joey. Yeah, it's like this side story with no rhyme or reason at this point. Anytime that a soap opera brings out pain pills, I wonder if the person's going to get addicted. Oh, they want us to feel so bad for Andre. Look at Haley wanting to go scam the Abbotts on Young and the Restless. Go pay him a visit, Haley. Dee Dee says, wouldn't it be something if Danny realized big mistake and it's too late? I mean, it's way too late. Cassie says, I was saying she better not ever cry over him again because after everything he did to her, should have never ever went back for anything. Danny can't quit damn Bill. Well, Ted is not a compatible donor. Bookchild says the funny thing is the actor who plays Kyle Abbott is from Georgia, so filming in Atlanta would be like being home for him. Maybe if he goes home a lot, they could get him another time. Alton Davis asks, if Leslie ever won Ted over, does that mean that everything she did feels like an accomplishment? Does that mean she will stop making trouble? I don't know her motivation anymore because I don't even think that's her only motivation anymore. I think her motivation is just to be annoying, apparently. Aaliyah says, I really lost some respect for Danny. She had just gained it back for me with the relationship with Andre because at the beginning of the show, Danny was pretty pathetic. And now she's regressing. Dee Dee says, listen to Haley for her next scam. Cassie E says, what if Haley gets secretly pregnant by Kyle? I mean, I guess they would have to have Haley cross over on The Young and the Restless for that. Miss Blue says, it is like they are trying to make Joey and Vanessa a super couple. They are not shoving them down our they are shoving them down our throats. They are not interesting. I think they are a super couple. For some reason, they have that idea in their minds. Bookchala says Haley on her next con. I mean, I guess that's how they could write Haley off. She winds up in Genoa City. I'd feel bad for her under Josh Griffith's pen, though. She'd just be kidnapped the next day. Franco says, I wonder if Haley's legitimately liked Kyle or if she just wanted to scam him. I mean, they had chemistry, but with Haley, it always seems like a scam, as Z Hicks just said. Devin says, for those that don't understand, a liver is like a starfish almost. If it has just a little sliver of it, still it can regrow into its full size. That's why we could donate a piece of our liver. Yes. Bookchala thinks that Haley does genuinely like Kyle, but his money more. Fair. I'm team Haley would just con Kyle and the Abbotts. I mean, Sheila worked Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful for like a year, although it was mostly Bold and the Beautiful, but she still went back to Young and the Restless a couple times, I think. Me either, Bookcella. Z Hicks says Danny really never loved Andre. She only wanted to attract Bill. I don't believe that actually. Well, Martin wants to be tested. Oh, Bill spotted Haley talking to Haley. I mean, Kyle. Where's she gonna sneak off to? Probably to call trash. Yeah, it's definitely trash. Like I've been saying since Sunday and last Friday, I think the whole Danny confiding in trash shit doesn't make sense after trash just kicked her out of a house a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Kaiwan says he would start watching Young and the Restless if Haley goes there. Bookchaw says Ashley has done the Bold and the Beautiful and Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives too sometimes, so it isn't unheard of to work on different shows at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the same character though, the same character on different shows at once. Because yeah, Ashley has, but she's Kristen over on Days of Our Lives. Alan Davis says, with all of the lashings Haley got around town by almost everyone for wrecking Danny and Bill's marriage, why hasn't she ever got a one-on-one lashing by Vernon and Anita Dupree? Maybe it happened before the show started. Miss Blue loves Martin. Dee Dee Martin says Martin willingly wants to be tested. You know, Martin's a good guy unless he has a personality shift from his concussion. Bobby says, wow, Bill trying to find an excuse to leave Haley. You think that's what he's doing? You think he's going to try and push Haley to go to Genoa City? Bookchaw says, Cat won't be tested until Thursday or Friday, Passions time frame. I think so too. Devin says, Danny acted like garbage. Now she's got to report to Captain Trash. Good point, I guess. Hello, the Omega Gamer, who says, Danny wanted revenge. It's an ego-driven act. She should have left Bill alone instead of becoming a tragic case of a woman scorned. I just think Danny has this weird tie to Bill that she just can't break. It's just a toxic thing for her because it's all she knew since she was young. Kathy says Bill will not leave Haley for Danny. I mean, I only think not because we have to somehow do something with the Haley trying to kill him story. Miss Blue likes Devin's name of Captain Trash. She is the captain of trash. Bobby says, or an excuse to cheat with Danny. That's what Bill wants. I mean, what we know of Bill's history, I don't think he needs excuses. Kaiwan says, I think what it is, Bill is acting this way about Kyle Abbott because he cheated. So now he's putting everything on Haley. That is what he's doing. He's guilty. He cheated. He's trying to make Haley feel bad. You're with Kyle. Bookchild says, people forget that Danny was always pathetic when it came to Bill. She's definitely on brand with the elevator bang. Yes, Danny was pathetic with Bill from jump. Bobby says the writers probably have Haley change her mind about killing Bill and divorce him to get alimony. That would be a lackluster way to try and finish that off and a cop out, but it does seem on brand. Devin says Bill must be packing or something for Danny to keep going back. Maybe. Bookchaw says, I want Kylie for Kyle and Haley. We probably wouldn't feel this way if they could cultivate that chemistry for a couple that they have on this show. Yeah, there's Captain Trash. TD says, I think Kat is the person that fears real life situations. Like when it comes to health. Please. I guess we're getting the sister again today. No, Franco, Eva's not talking. She's still out. I still think they royally fucked up that Impaler reveal. Devin says Bill gaslighting the fuck out of Haley. He is trying to do that. Be Slow says, is this the Vanessa and Joey show this week? Yes. It must be. Although I don't recall them in the spoilers for the rest of the week, but I'm sure they'll pop up still. Dee says, I can't help it that I'm so annoyed with the writers and Danny. Also, why lie about being in the elevator when people will know a lie? Well, people on this show are kind of dumb, so I don't know if they will know a lie. Haley's the only one that's actually questioned why Bill's not dirty like everybody else, even though he was supposedly in the stairwell. Book Chalice says, at least we got a break from Naomi and Ashley. I guess we could only get a break from one boring people to have more being boring people on the next week. DGF says, I hope Martin doesn't get the Jason Quartermain personality change and become cool with Joey. I was thinking that too. If it's going to be a personality change, it needs to be an aggressive one, not a Tomas like no notes in his face change. Devin says, I wonder if Joey's sister is watching him. She showed up when Vanessa wasn't there. She could have a spy. Yeah, it could be. I'm going to need Heather and Trash to interact and Heather to hate Vanessa if I'm ever going to take this Heather character seriously. Hello, ATC. Welcome back. Cassie E says, I think Vanessa's going to rat her out ASAP because she doesn't like that nobody likes drawing for her. Vanessa's going to rat who out? Danny? He says Haley knows Bill is with Danny or suspects he was with Danny. Maybe. ATC says, I can't believe Danny called Vanessa. Danny should have called Pamela if anyone. They couldn't get the actress, I assume. Lisa B says, the writers are going to let us down with Eva's story. They will try to stay away from Ted not being Eva's dad and Haley not killing Bill. I'm going to stay patient with this story for Eva this week and see where it leads if they do some twists and turns. Well, this is why it would be more interesting if we saw Joey's ex, if she did a number on Joey. I mean, I'm assuming this is not actually a goodbye between these two, but it's pretty damn anticlimactic. I don't get the point of these scenes sometimes. This episode not as good as yesterday's, and Trash and Joey are the main reason. DGF says Joey was on Martin's mind because he had just cautioned Jack about Joey foreshadow. I don't think they're gonna go that route of Jasoning up Martin, or at least not have him like work for Joey. That would be so random. Because you are stupid, Danny. Well, duh, Danny's gonna keep it a secret. Danny's so dumb because she really did put her in a spot herself in a spot where not only did she go back to Bill like the pathetic idiot, but now Bill could have like a one up on her and Andre. Far behind in the chat. I'll have to try and catch up during commercial. Let's see. Bobby Wobby asks, "Who's the better villain, Asa Buchanan or Edward Quartermain?" I'm gonna choose Asa. Kathy says, "I'm already bored with Joey and his sister." Me too. Aaliyah thinks Heather and Vanessa will definitely clash. I mean, they have to, I would hope. What other reason is Heather even around? Devin is ready for the clash. God knows when it'll come, though, with how slow this show moves. I mean, the guy, you gotta want him to crutch his ass on back to the hospital. All right, sorry. Let me get back to the chat, even though I'm quite behind. DGS says Heather must have been a change of life baby. It's at least a 15-year age difference. It is, or they had Joey really, really young. Aaliyah says Danny's girls are grown ass women. They are. This show and a lot of soap operas like to act like their grown children are so young and can't handle things. Taiwan says, Joey, you're not the lucky one at all. I found those scenes so eye roll worthy between like Joey talking so good about Vanessa. Like everyone in the chat was saying earlier, they think this is the super couple. Hello, T. Rogers, who said, I don't understand why Danny is talking to Vanessa. Why not Nicole? I mean, I think not Nicole because Nicole would feel some kind of way because Andre used to be her nephew, I guess. Aaliyah says, why would Danny have this conversation with Vanessa at her house? That's just stupid. Well, if there's anything that Danny is showing these past couple episodes, she's stupid. Bobby Wobby says, Vanessa going to make it worse for Danny. Probably. Devin says, I just want to watch one of Joey's cooking videos. I would rather watch that than his scenes with Vanessa. Oh, I just lost my part in the chat. Aaliyah says, why would Danny believe Bill won't tell? And why hasn't she washed her ass yet? Both very good questions, especially the latter after this, you know, grimy elevator sex with Bill. Bookchild says, Bill is going to have Danny playing hopscotch and asking how high. Probably. Devin says the elevator wasn't even a romantic setting. I mean, I don't know if it was supposed to be romantic. I think it was supposed to be like primal, giving into each other in the elevator. DGF says Vanessa is Lalucci tiny. She has gotten tiny. And DGF also chooses Asa Buchanan. Miss Blue says, trash to Danny. I am heading back to Joey. She acts like she cannot breathe without Joey. It is eye roll worthy. I agree with you. Carmen asks, why cat calling Andre? Yeah, it's because Ted is related to Andre and thus related to Eva. Cat just wants everyone to test but herself, I think, is what they're getting at. Dee Dee says, here it is that Cat wants Andre to be tested because she doesn't want to or is scared. I think a bit of both in this situation for Cat because it's Eva. Yes, as DGF said, Andre is Eva's cousin. Dee Dee thinks Vanessa is going to tell Joey. Probably. He could go try and cash in on his bet. Carmen says, I thought Danny would have called her sister. You're all saying Vanessa's going to tell Joey. Well, it's too bad Andre doesn't heal like fucking Grayson. GBS giving into each other in an elevator during a tornado, though. Really, I hope they wrap this cheating story up fast. I don't see it getting wrapped up fast. But you know, these TV shows love the whole "we could die, so let's fuck" trope. I don't know. Bill does seem a little jealous of Kyle Abbey. He's talked about the entire damn episode. I can't believe they're gonna make us wait all week to ask Cat to test. I mean, I can't believe it. Here go Martin going in on Cat. Well, we had another dramatic ending at least. I mean, so how do y'all feel about it? Is Cat being selfish or should she, being her feelings about it? Let me try and catch up on the chat before I go. Miss Blue says Cat will probably be the last person to get tested. I hope that she will be a match for Eva. I mean, that's kind of the way I see it going, unless it's somehow going to be Nicole that's a match for Eva in the end. Book Chalice says Cat will be the match. The writers have no imagination. Ho hum. I mean, that is the way they seem to be going with this. Aaliyah says, "You can anyone wash after having sex with someone else?" Book Chalice says, "You, Bill, take a bath." Yep. Aaliyah says, "Oh, Martin's digging in Cat's ass." Bobby says, "Original Martin is back." This is the Martin we need to keep because this Martin is more entertaining. Z Hicks says, "Where's Tomas for support of the family? He cared about some kid or something more than Cat. What else is new with Tomas?" Bookchild says, "Well, we know Martin's brain is intact. He's back to calling Cat a brat." Fair. Taiwan says, "I love this Martin." Dee says, "Cat was finally being honest." Miss Blue says, "Colby is a fantastic actress." She is. Bobby Wobby says, "We might get 2 good weeks in a row." I think we are. I mean, today was a little too much Joey and Vanessa for me, but it was still a mostly good episode other than them. Bookchild says Colby takes the crown. She does. Devin says, "I forgot to go back from commercials after Heather left." Guess you'll have to watch the ending tomorrow. Aaliyah says, "Cat's not being selfish. I think she's scared." I think she's a little bit of both. I think she's a little bit of both. T. Rogers says, "Why couldn't they have just put Tomas under the tree?" That's what they should have done. If you're going to have a tornado event, let's kill someone off. And I think that person should have been Tomas. DGF says, "I hope they give Colby more powerful scenes. They have a gem in her." I've been saying this for a year that both Eva and Kat need better storylines than being with fucking Tomas or each other. Phoenix says, "Thanks for the watch along. Have a good rest of your day." You have a great day too, Phoenix. Didi says, "Cat will be the match, exactly what the writers want." Seems like Devin says, "There's no such thing as too much Joey and Vanessa." That's what the writers think for sure. DGF also forgot to go back for the commercial. Bobby says, "I like this Cat better." Bookchild says, "I think Cat has a phobia about medical stuff." That could be. They have at least played that up in the past. All right. I will see you all later. See you, Aaliyah. Thank you all for joining me per usual. I will try and be back tomorrow, and I will be back for the review later this evening.